Okay, today we're going to talk about building the passive leg section of this walking toy, this walking robot. And I basically printed the parts in multicolor to make it easier to see what's going on. In this center support frame, I'm using a 1/8 rod, which would be about 3mm, 3.1, somewhere in there, as the shaft, and it's just a hair over an inch long, about an inch and a 1/16, which would be about 26.5mm if I remember right. And we're going to be putting a pinion gear, which I printed in blue, on the top and the bottom. You can actually get away with just one of them, but I put one on top and bottom anyway. And they 3D print without supports, flat, and then for an axle to hold them in place, I'm just have a finishing nail. Nothing particularly special about it. It's about 1.75mm in diameter, and it's about 12.4mm long, but you can just find a nail that will fit and turn on that loosely. The head holds it in place, and as long as it will fit securely in the hole. You can see this one I've already pressed in, spins freely. This one I have never pressed in yet, so I'll grab myself some pliers and try to work that puppy in there. Maybe I can even pound it in. I don't know. Yeah, I think that'll work. So we have the two gears in, we have our shaft in. The next thing you're going to print are the legs, the left and right parts. I did them in colors so again you could see what's separate. This part prints flat on your printer this way. You just clean the gear teeth up afterwards. And this part prints flat on your printer the way I'm holding it, no supports. Then glue it on. And you do that for both the left and the right legs. So for example, if you take this, once you've cleaned the teeth up and you put it on that axle, it should be able to move freely on those gears. If you do it with both sides, like so, then the legs are going to move in opposite directions. Now there's these side caps to this lower body frame. I print them with supports and then clean all the support material out. If I take a flat file and just run that flat file in here and clean that all up, because you need this inside really smooth. Originally when I designed the part, I had it where I could print it this way and then that would always be smooth, but I wanted these detailed and raised parts, so it's always easier just to go in there with a flat file and clean up any humps or bumps where the support was and clean out the hole where that little shaft's going to go, because this is going to fit onto the axle on one side like so, and then the cap that you print for the other side, you do exactly the same thing. It's going to print and fit on there. So basically when the parts are lined up, it's going to look like that. And when one leg moves forward, the other leg will move back. Now if things don't move freely before you glue these side panels on, and I glue them up at the top, get in there with your file and clean up whatever's rough, whatever's hanging up, whether you didn't get the gears clean or you didn't get the case clean, whatever it is, clean it all up. Then you can glue it all together. But you can see how that's is going to work. When you have the legs lined up right and the side panels on, both legs should be able to, I'll give you an example of lining it up wrong. Makes it easier to see what I'm talking about. Trying to put the side piece on here. Bad try as you might, I still put it together right. I gotta goof it up. And you get it lined up wrong, and this is just slightly wrong. When one leg's all the way back, the other one won't be all the way forward yet, and vice versa. This one will hit before that. So you'll know when you get it, when everything's set in the right, that you get full swing on both leg directions. Then you'll know that you have it centered up right. And when you go to glue it together, like I say, I just take some glue up where it isn't going to bugaboo anything, like right here, here and here, here and here, which is just this little area here and here, because you've got this post that's going to fit the lower part, and you only need to glue it there. When you get it glued, set it on something flat like a tabletop, like this, and pinch it, and then you'll know that the parts are all going to be lined up and fitting together properly and working. And you want it to work really freely, obviously. If it doesn't, take it apart and do a little bit more filing on those parts, or clean those gears up, or whatever it takes, because that's the heart of the whole thing. Now, what makes it work right are the wheels being offset. They're concentric. They turn here. Let's hold it up in here and you'll see it. See how they comes closer and further away, and the sides are opposite each other. So that gets the whole cart moving back and forth a little, which transfers which foot's going to be touching the floor, and that's how you get the walking action. So I'll include the files for this lower part and the concentric wheels, which will fit on any of the TT type motors. This is the 48 to 1 or 1 to 48, depending on how you like to ride it. Nothing special about the cart. You can make your own cart, and you can make your own upper body design. Whatever makes you happy.